When police entered this house on North Curley Street for a report of an assault, they discovered 33-year-old Shanlette Lewis laying in a pool of blood inside her front door. She died from her injuries 2 days later, and now her cousin, 31-year-old Demetrick Lewis, faces charges in her death. One of her family members, who did not wish to be identified, spoke to us of this double tragedy.
She was a good spirit. She was a good person. She ain't deserve it. She ain't deserve it. I mean, little argument. This is a big loss for the family. I mean, it's two losses: a death and a life that's thrown away. I mean, because he ain't think.
According to charging documents, Lewis got into an argument with his cousin, threatened her, and then pushed her down the stairs to the basement, where she hit her head on the concrete floor. Allegedly, he then carried her upstairs, grabbed her by the shirt, and dragged her through the kitchen and living room, leaving her by the front door. He then fled from the home before police arrived, and 2 days later, she died from her injuries. Demetrick Lewis is now being held on a first and second-degree murder charge, but his family isn't convinced that he meant to kill his cousin.
It was just a heated argument that one thing led to another and it went left. But I'm quite sure it was accidental. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, he loved her just like she loved him. But I mean, you know, it's tough love out here.
At the time of his cousin's death, Lewis was still facing charges dating back 2 years ago in Baltimore County after he allegedly got into a fight with a coworker at the Edenwald retirement home and beat him severely, telling him during the assault, "I am going to try to kill you." In East Baltimore, Jeff Hager, WMAR 2 News.
They shared the same life.
Okay, let's see if I can find a picture of Mr. Demetrick. Okay, here we are. There he is. That's Demetrick. Poor soul. He has a short temper. Now, you know, the Bible says that in the last days, family will turn against family. So I'm at a point now where it's very difficult to surprise me. Now listen to this. For whatever reason, he and his cousin are arguing. He decides to throw her down a flight of steps, knowing that at the bottom of that flight of steps is concrete. So this is an unfinished basement. She hits her head on the concrete. He goes down into the basement, drags her up the steps like that's how people treat trash. If you have a bag of trash and you throw that bag of trash down into the basement, let's say because trash day is not until tomorrow. So you throw the bag of trash down into the basement, the bag of trash bursts open, you go downstairs, you collect it, bring it back upstairs, take it outside, whatever. He treated his cousin as though she were a bag of trash. He threw her down the steps, she hit her head, he dragged her up the steps, left her by the front door after dragging her through the house, left her laying there to die. Went out the house and went on about his business the way he would a piece of trash. But the $1 million question is, why was he out of jail? He had a fight. He had a fight with someone at work. Informed the man that his goal was to kill the man over what? A silly fight? So this is a very dangerous individual who has zero respect for anybody's life. Now, I'm curious as to whether or not he'll be let back out again. I'm curious as to what his bond will be. Will he receive bond? How many more people is this guy going to have to kill before he's taken off the streets of Baltimore? This world has gone plumb crazy. Plumb. Stay tuned. I do plan to follow this case, so stay tuned.